The pancake is one of the best stretches to get really flexible. Unfortunately, if you can't do it, it's just your genetics.
We're just kidding, guys. That's a joke. We both started super stiff in the pancake, nowhere near this. And today we're gonna show you how you can turn a stiff, inflexible pancake into a nice deep one.
We really like the pancake as a mobility goal because it forces you to work on not one, but 3 different components of hip mobility. You have to be able to straddle or open your hips. You have to be able to forward fold and have flexible hamstrings. And finally, we have to combine those 2 to get into the full pancake. So if you have a hard time sitting on the ground with your legs out in front of you, or sitting in a butterfly, or sitting cross-legged, then you should probably get on working on those. But that doesn't mean that you can't start your pancake journey right now. And that's what this video is all about. So we're gonna show you how to work on your pancake from absolutely zero, stiff, to advanced pancake, chest on the ground.
So we've broken this down into 4 basic stretches that you can use to prepare you to get deeper into your pancake stretching. So first we'll go over this forward fold hamstring flexibility range. So I'm talking to you guys that have those stiff hamstrings. Number 1 is the standing good morning. So this is one of our favorite exercises, especially for beginners, to just start opening up those hamstrings. Main cues here are that you wanna keep that knee all the way straight. That's gonna have the best carryover to your pancake. And you want to keep that spine in an extended to neutral position as you hinge down. So you wanna start off with doing this with 2 legs, but as you get better and more flexible, you can transition into 1 leg. After you spend some time there, then we really like to transition people into the Jefferson Curl. So the Jefferson Curl is essentially a forward fold where you're gonna elevate your feet and you can use some weight to pull you into a deeper position. We have a great Jefferson Curl tutorial and we'll link it in the description, but the main points are that you want to really articulate the spine, starting with tucking the chin in this top of the spine and then slowly folding all of those components until you're getting yourself as compressed as possible, pushing that belly towards your thighs. Now be careful with this one. You don't want to use a lot of weight starting out. Use something really light, and then you can gradually progress. So next we have the straddle position, this ability to open your legs and kind of stretch those adductor muscles. Our favorite to start this is the butterfly against the wall, also known as the Taylor pose. You want to keep your full back and your hips against the wall. And now we essentially just want to open the knees down towards the ground. Now my favorite way to do this is dynamically pushing the knees down. You can use some external weight from some dumbbells or something like that, or you can just press your hands down into your knees. Hold for a second or 2, release, and repeat. And lastly is the Cossack Squat, or the side squat. Optimally, to really stretch your straddle position, you wanna keep your toe actually facing forward for your Cossack. You squat down to 1 leg and the straight leg has to lengthen and open to the side. This does wonders for your straddle position. So you have to determine what you need more of for your pancake. Some people have great hamstring flexibility, but just can't open their legs to the side. If you're that type of person, you should work more on your straddle and vice versa. So now that we got these prep stretches out of the way, let's get to the specific pancake work.
The first progression in the pancake series is the standing straddle good morning. Now, this is a perfect exercise for you if you sit on the ground and try to do a pancake and you really just can't go forward at all. Yeah, I'm talking to you, young Joshua Edward. Okay, so you'll start out in a standing straddle position. Now you don't need to put your feet as wide as possible, but you should be close to that point. From here, the exercise is pretty simple. You're gonna hip hinge, meaning bend at the hips. Now, the important things to remember here is you want your hips to travel backwards and your head to travel as far forward as possible, keeping your spine really long. We prefer to do this for reps, and each rep you wanna try and go a little bit deeper than your last, so that by your last rep, you're far deeper than that first one. And keep that back nice and straight, no roundies in this one.
So once you're able to do the standing straddle good morning, getting your torso parallel to the ground, you're ready to move on to the seated pancake. But we're not gonna start seated on the ground. Most people rush to this step too soon. We like to have people start by sitting on something that's about a foot tall. Then over time, we can work on lessening that height until we get to the ground. You know that you're ready to lower the elevation when you can get your torso past 45-degree angle. Now, when we're starting to work on this full pancake, especially in this step where we're at here, chances are that it's gonna be hard for you to pull your torso down. Now, something that comes in really handy is using the assistance of weight. So there's different variations that you can use here, but one of our favorites is just to grab a dumbbell or a weight plate and to stick that on your back. Now, as you hinge the torso forward, this weight helps to push you or pull you into a deeper pancake position. So the more weight that you use, potentially, the more it will push you into a deeper position. But you need to be careful here. If you use too much weight too fast, you could potentially be putting yourself at risk for injury. Just enough to push you deeper, but not excessively too much. Now, just like the standing good morning, our favorite way to work this is with reps. Going down to as deep as you can get and then coming back up and out of it, and each rep seeking a bit deeper position. Go ahead and hold on your last rep for about 10 to 20 seconds. So next is to move into the full pancake on the ground. Yes, we got there.
Now, we're gonna talk about all of the stuff that you should be focusing on, the cues you're gonna give yourself for each of the progressions we already talked about, including the one we're doing right now. So, first one, a lot of people are gonna tell you to arch your back and extend your spine when you're working on the pancake. And we actually find that the best way to work on this is instead just thinking about making your spine long. Think about reaching the top of your head or your forehead as far forward as possible, as towards the wall in front of you. So instead of arching like this, just getting nice and long, reaching the head forward, compressing the ribs if you can, will oftentimes help you get even deeper. Now, if you're doing each of these stretches correctly, you should be feeling a stretch somewhere in this general area, either the adductors, maybe the hamstrings. Sometimes you can't even really tell. But if you're feeling it anywhere else, then you might need to go back a progression. Now, one really important cue to always give yourself is to externally rotate your hips, meaning you want to turn your kneecap up or even potentially facing back towards the wall behind you. Now, as you go into your pancake, they might tend to roll inwards like this. It's okay as long as you're focusing on squeezing hard into that position. That will give you everything you need. Now, once you make it to the floor, you can continue using weight on the back to continue to push the depth of your pancake. But one variation we really like that actually requires no equipment is just reaching your arms as far forward as possible, or even potentially holding something pretty light in your hands out on the end. So think about reaching your hands and head towards the wall in front of you as far as you can, and that should pull you deeper into your pancake. Really, really reach. Do this for reps, and at the end of each rep in your deepest position, you want to hold and see if you can just go a little bit deeper. We really like this reaching variation because it also teaches the skill component of the pancake, which is this compression force of pulling with the muscles on the front side of the body to get you deeper into your pancake. If you feel like you always need the weight to push you into your pancake, but you can't pull yourself into it, then you may need some of that extra compression strength. An exercise you can do every time you work on your pancake are these straddle lift-offs, where you're gonna sit in your pancake, go into it, but don't go as deep as possible. Place your hands on the floor, and we're going to lift the feet as high as you can while extending the arms. And you can hold or do these for reps. You should feel a ton of tension on the front of the hip and a ton of tension in the core. One mistake Josh and I both made on our pancake journey is trying to go too quick. So make sure you take your time, focus on the cues, and make sure you're ready to move on to that next progression before you do it.
So guys, we referenced some other videos. Those can all be found down in the description.
Let us know where you're at with your pancake journey, and leave a comment below with the next stretch you'd like to see us break down step by step.
If you found this video helpful at all, really appreciate a thumbs up, a comment, all that stuff helps Strength Side keep growing. We're on our way to 1 million subscribers. And if you want to be one of those, we drop videos every single Friday. Let's go have some pancakes. Ciao.